Theosophical Wisdom Podcast welcomes you to this first of a series of short presentations on various issues and problems of life from a theosophical wisdom perspective. You will not disagree with the statement that human life is beset with problems. Emphasis of this wisdom podcast is on lasting solutions as against palliatives or temporary reliefs. Life is full of mysteries beyond our comprehension. Heroic struggle of man down the centuries has evaded lasting solutions to the mysteries and problems that beset human life. The object of this podcast is to show that lasting solutions to life's problems and mysteries are found in the ancient theosophical wisdom science, which is as old as the world. It throws brilliant light on all aspects of life and on mysteries which evade modern scientific methods. In this series of Theosophical Wisdom Podcast, we will be podcasting commentaries on various topics from theosophical wisdom perspective, touching on all aspects of life and thought: scientific, religious, philosophical, psychological, ethical, moral, social, economic, global issues, and so on. The object of this undertaking is to demonstrate how in this ancient wisdom religion or wisdom science, popularized now as theosophy, is found solutions to every mystery of nature, to all the problems, riddles, and paradoxes of life. If it is so, is it not worthwhile giving it a fair hearing with an open mind? Generally, we look to science for explanation of various problems of life and mysteries of nature, or to religion in times of distress, don't we? Science and religion are the two main streams of thought which predominantly influence our thinking and attitudes. We would like to proffer for your consideration theosophical wisdom perspective as an alternative to those of modern science and popular religion. What is this theosophical wisdom? We will see presently. Religious people turn to religion for relief and solace when afflicted with pains and sorrows of life. Especially is this so when confronted with the terrible spectacle of apparent injustice in society. On the other hand, rational thinking people look to science, modern science, for explanations of mysteries of life and for solutions to many problems that afflict mankind. But the question is, with all the progress made in science and technology, have problems of human existence been solved? Coming to religion, have religions brought union and harmony among peoples of diverse faiths? Have not religions seeded more conflicts in the world with their dogmatic beliefs and have bound the human mind in superstitions? Take science, for example. It offers ingenious explanations and solutions to many a mystery of nature and of life pertaining to the physical life of mankind. It has made tremendous progress in medicine, genetics, physics, chemistry, and so on and so forth. Technology has revolutionized the world and has brought far-flung nations and peoples together through fast means of communication and travel. Time and space have shrunk so much owing to superfast communication, that nations of the world have come together to be a global village, as they term it. If science and technology have brought immense benefit to mankind, have they not also created problems like warfare of mass destruction, climate change, environmental destruction, pollution of oceans, rivers, soil, air, heading to catastrophic consequences which threaten the civilization itself? If technology has brought benefits, it is also found to be unable to solve the problems it has created. Why? Because it is not technology that creates problems or brings benefits. It is the man who is the creator of technology and the one who puts it to use for good or bad purposes. Therefore, it is the man, the creator, who is to be guided by wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is that higher consciousness which embraces the whole, seen and unseen, as one harmonious, dynamic, progressive system. Moreover, there are mysteries of life and of the universe which have not been known to science, mysteries far more than it has knowledge of. Why? Because many of these hidden mysteries of nature are far beyond the reach, scope, and the method of modern science. If science is to be a whole science, or if modern science is to be the science of the whole, as distinguished from fragmentary and partial as it now is, and if science is to be truly beneficial to mankind, it has to be illuminated and guided by wisdom. Otherwise, without wisdom as a guiding light, scientific progress is self-limiting and even more self-destructive. Now, let us examine religion. Religions as known and practiced by people in general, institutionalized and sectarian, give explanations, prescribes remedies by way of prayers and worship and so on, which are accepted by followers on blind faith. Do these practices and beliefs bring relief? Even if any remedy is obtained for ills of life, in either science or in religion, it will be temporary, and the problem sought to be remedied, and even after apparent remedy is secured, the problem is sure to recur. Why? Because science investigates only physical man and physical nature. It is wholly ignorant of spiritual, psychological, and moral aspects of man and nature. Therefore, the psychological and moral cause of problems in life remain untouched. Yes, causes of problems of life have their roots deep in the psyche of man and in his moral and spiritual nature, which are generally unseen. Now consider the relation between science and religion. Today we see science and religion are mutually incompatible. There is no common ground where the two are in perfect reconciliation. The problem with modern Western science is that it is incomplete, and the problem with popular religion is that they have lost the spirit and the actual scientific foundation on which they rested in their original formulation, but now no longer. Religions have leapt into narrow sectarian belief system and the dogmas which defy reason, violate principles of natural justice and even common sense. For example, religions inculcate belief in heavens and hells. It inculcates belief in God as a creator of the world who can be prayed to and favors obtained from. Abrahamic religions believe in a dark power called Satan, independent of man and the cause of evil in human life. All these, among many others, defy human reason, logic, and simple common sense. Credulous people may accept such absurd teachings on blind faith. But an honest, independent thinking man cannot bring himself to accept anything which cannot be demonstrated to reason and experience. Any system of belief or philosophy which does not permit questioning and independent investigation, but is expected to be believed on blind faith, can only generate fear and superstition. Any system of thought or belief based on blind faith, blind conformity, can only be regressive and a promoter of superstition. This is about popular religion. Modern science, on the other hand, is incomplete because, firstly, the scope of its research and investigation are limited to material or physical nature alone, and secondly, its method is empirical, that is, based on the evidence of the physical senses and physical perception and inductive logic. It ignores the vast field of subtle, invisible realities pertaining to the working of consciousness in mental, psychical, and spiritual dimensions, and the vital force independent of corporeal matter. Since modern science ignores the metaphysical, its findings can only be partially true, confined to physical phenomena and physical life. And the reasoning based on such partial knowledge can only be true in relative terms, and conclusions arrived at can only be at best provisional, partial, and subject to change, and therefore far from truth. Therefore, while modern science can discover physical laws and discover mysteries of physical nature, it cannot know anything beyond the physical, in other words, not anything metaphysical. Therefore, modern science is powerless to solve the mysteries of consciousness, of mind, of soul, of spirit, or of vital life, vital force that pervades and sustains the visible universe. Science denies a priori that consciousness and mind have any reality apart from physical matter, that is, apart from the brain and nerve substance, and that they are merely temporary phenomena produced by the molecular vibrations. Therefore, it has cut itself off from a knowledge of vast field of being. Institutionalized religions, on the other hand, have some truth, as in ethics, for instance. But many beliefs which they uphold defy reason, break rules of logic, violate principles of natural justice, and even contrary to common sense. We can illustrate these as we proceed. Religious beliefs and dogmas based on unquestioning acceptance and blind faith necessarily conflicts with science, which, on the contrary, accepts nothing which is not demonstrated to reason, checked by experience, and experimental verification. Science and religion, as popularly known and practiced, are therefore irreconcilable. But science and religion, in their original integrity, are perfectly reconcilable. They are mutually complementary. What then is true science? True science encompasses the whole of the universe and man in all their aspects: physical, psychical, intellectual, mental, moral, spiritual, divine. Such science is a complete science, and at the same time it is true religion also. Hence, it is referred to as wisdom science or wisdom religion, both being inseparable. And it is referred to as Theosophy, meaning divine wisdom, Theosophia. It sees no mystery in nature or life which cannot be solved. If there is such a holistic science, or a science of the whole, there must be knowers and masters of it, who themselves have developed and perfected their physical, mental, and intellectual, psychic, and spiritual organizations of their being to the utmost possible perfection. A fraternity of such great masters of wisdom have always been on earth and have always been the torchbearers of truth across the ages. History of the sacred traditions of the world proves it. To the fraternity of masters of this wisdom science, there is no mystery in the universe that has remained unsolved and unexplained. The podcast is therefore named Theosophical Wisdom Podcast. What shall we begin the podcast with? We will begin the podcast with a series of talks on laws of karma and reincarnation. Why? Why have we chosen this topic, the laws of karma and reincarnation? Because they are the fundamental laws of the universe in which, when thoroughly understood, explanations and solutions to every problem of life and mystery of the universe is found. These two laws of life are inseparable and therefore called the twin laws. In these twin laws, we find a harmonious solution to all the problems of life and existence. Karma and reincarnation are fundamental laws of the universe to which all other laws of life and nature are subservient. Listeners are not expected to believe in what is being offered, but only give the propositions that are proffered an impartial consideration. You may take them as working hypotheses and apply them to life's problem and see whether they are reasonable, just, impartial, and whole when compared with the dicta of modern science or dogmas of sectarian religion. They are more reasonable. If you find this podcast series of any interest and wish to send your comments and questions, you are welcome to do so. You may mail your comments or questions to www.ultindia.org, and it will be our pleasure to respond to them. Please look forward to the first of the series of talks on karma and reincarnation. The next topic is entitled Logic and Justice of the Law of Karma and Reincarnation. Wishing you a wholesome and happy life, we now close this first part of the Theosophical Wisdom Podcast. Thank you.